All right. Next question is from Jack Sparrow. He says, David, please ask Christian Prince, how does the Shahada sound before Muhammad? So there is a Shahada before Muhammad. So how does this sound?
First of all, the Shahada is something funny because, the word Shahada in Arabic is witness. So how you can witness for something you did not see? And you will see that the Quran says that Allah himself, he says Shahada. So Shahid Allahu alla ilaha illahu wal malaika, chapter 3 verse number 18. So Allah himself, he says Shahada. Okay, Allah, he says Shahada to who? So the Shahada, I believe it was Muhammad, he is trying to enforce himself on people to agree that he's a prophet, and he wants them to declare it, otherwise you die. And then because if you declare it, people will hear it, and then there is no way to return. You will be rejected by your tribe, by your family, because you declare that you are following Muhammad. So Shahada, it was a way to sign in the army of Muhammad with the point of no return, because there is two issues here, two risks. If you leave, Muhammad will kill you, and if you join your family, they will reject you. The Arab, the tribes, they will not like you no more because you join the gang of Muhammad. Muhammad is not really the Arab. They never saw him as a prophet. They saw him as a gang member. Like as an example, there's a hadith to speak about the word Sa'ariq. Muhammad, he said in Sunan Ibn Dawood, which is a Sahih hadith, he said, "Abshiru ya ma'shara Sa'ariq." For those who speak Arabic, they knew what Sa'ariq mean. Sa'ariq mean the outlaw. Like, when you speak about a bunch of criminals who they are running away in the wood, for they are wanted for raping, killing. So Sa'ariq are a group of people who they are rejected by their tribes, not from one tribe. And then they live in the desert. And then they make a gang together and they attack the people who traveled, became pirate. So Muhammad, he called his own people Sa'ariq, which is an insult. Like if you say to anyone now in Arabic, you are a Sa'luq, he will kill you. So how Muhammad, he says to the Muslim, Abshiru ya ma'shara Sa'ariq. The Muslim, they translate that in the hadith, they say a group of poor immigrant. That's a lie. Sa'ariq is not a poor immigrant. It is the criminals who they are rejected from their families for crimes they did.
Wow. Interesting. All right. Next one. This is from Bram. He says, talk about the crucifixion of Jesus in Islam, Surah 4, verse 157. So what's your take on that? There are multiple takes on this as far as, even according to Muslims over the years, whether this is saying that Jesus wasn't crucified or whether this is simply saying that he wasn't killed by the Jews, or whether it's saying that, even though he was killed, it wasn't, you weren't the ones that killed them. So what's your take on Surah? So just so everyone knows, Surah 4, verse 157, this is where we have that the Jews are boasting that they killed Christ Jesus. And the Quran says, but they killed him not, nor did they crucify him, but so it was made to appear to them. What's your take on that, Christian Prince?
Well, this is a very important verse. I advise the Christians to learn carefully and listen carefully for the answer. This verse confirms something very important. Number one, that the Jews, they confirm their killing to Jesus. Number two, Allah saying that they killed Jesus, but the fake Jesus, which means the Bible is telling us a true story. Because if I am witnessing a crucifixion of someone, Allah, he made him look exactly like Jesus. And then John and Peter and all the disciples of Jesus, they witness that we witness the death and the crucifixion of Jesus. The Quran saying Allah, he made him look like Jesus. So the Christian, the apostle of Jesus, they witness for the truth, for what they saw, which mean the Bible is saying the truth, because a true witness is the one who say what he saw, not what somebody else after 600 years will say to us. I saw this, I write this. This is honesty. So the Quran confirmed that what is written in the Christian book is absolutely correct, that they witnessed and they saw Jesus being crucified. And then Allah, he sent after 600 years someone to say, it was not Jesus, this is a child, and this is stupid. But by this, the Quran confirmed that our story is a true story. And now Muslims, you tell me how they can confirm somebody he never witnessed Jesus, he never spoke to Jesus, he don't even know the language of Jesus, he don't even know the name of Jesus, and yet he can tell us what happened to Jesus. Why? Because he have somebody came to him and he squeezed him 3 times like a mayonnaise, and he told him that, oh, they did not kill the Messiah, it was someone looked like him.
All right, I assume this comment is a joke, but on the slim chance that it's not, I'm going to go and post it. YS says, hello, I want to donate $1 million right now. Is it possible to send $1 million as a donation? Let me know so I can do it now. Well, if you're talking about to Christian Prince here, well, I don't know if you can send a donation that big, but
no, I don't want $1 million. I don't want it, David. Give it to David.
Okay, so if you want to, you can divide it up. You can give half. Go to Christian Prince's. Just go to Christian Prince's Patreon page. The link is in the description box. You can give him whatever you want. You can find my info if you want. Back to this comment from a Muslim. He says, "I have no problem with Christians as a Muslim." Well, my take would be that that's great that you don't have a problem with Christians as a Muslim. But my understanding is that Allah has a problem with us, and Muhammad had a problem with us. And because Allah and Muhammad had a problem with us, and the rightly guided caliphs had a problem with us, and 14 centuries worth of Muslim scholars have had a problem with us, that there's still a problem with us. So, Christian Prince, how would you respond to a Muslim who says he has no problem with us?
How he say, I'm a Muslim and I have no problem with the Christians? That's mean you are a hypocrite. Because if you are a Muslim, you believe in the book of Allah, and the book of Allah says in chapter 5 verse 51, take not Christians and Jews as a friends. Even the Quran in chapter 9 verse 23 says you cannot even take your father and your brother from your blood as a friend. So either you are a hypocrite playing taqiyya on us, think that we are a bunch of fools who do not know your book, or you yourself, you have no idea what Islam is about. You are just born of a Muslim family. Your name is Muhammad, and you think you are a Muslim. Choose one. Which one is you? I don't know.
Yeah, I have to say, to the Muslims who are watching and thinking, hey, I get along with Christians. I get along with everyone. I don't have any problem with them. Look, it's great that most Muslims live better lives than their religion commands them to live. And it's great that most Muslims live better lives than their prophet lived. But we're not talking about nice Muslims who just don't follow Muhammad's teachings. We're talking about what the Muslim sources say. So even though you have no problem with us, again, your God definitely has a problem with us, and your prophet definitely had a problem with us, and that's why followers of your God and your prophet have been killing Christians and lots of other people for a very long time. Wait a minute. Wait, now the same guy, Christian Prince, I scrolled down to his next comment to see what he was going to say. But it's the same guy said he has no problem with Christians. And he says, but I just asked Christians not to call Jesus God. So he's saying he has no problem with us. Just don't call Jesus God.
And what if we call Jesus God, what will happen? What next? What he would do?
Yeah. What's the plan there?
He would do jihad?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I should have put a link, and I will after this show. First and last here said Christian Prince has books available on Amazon. Be sure to check them out as they are filled with invaluable information. I'll add those to the description box after the show. So if you're watching this in a replay afterwards, the links will be there. But Christian Prince, why don't you tell us about the books that you've written?
Well, my books is actually, the Muslims, they say to me, well, if you are a person who know a lot, how come we never heard of a book you have? So I said, okay, I'm going to give you books. So I start writing books. So it was the Muslims who gave me the idea, and they are the Muslims who invited me to do so. My books is like a box of a lot of information. There's no, it's not just a book. Those who have my books, they knew. I just released a 2-volume, Sex and Allah, and the whole 2 books is about sexuality in Islam, and for the Arab, before Islam and after Islam. So my book simply is a collection of information, hard to reach for those who don't speak Arabic, and even for those who speak Arabic. because I never saw actually. Even those who speak Arabic is the last one to know too, because not everybody speak Arabic. He read and he study and he research. So my books is an easy access with a translation for a lot of information people never heard of, from those who speak Arabic and those who never know Arabic. So, and you can ask people who have my books what they think about it. For sure, the Muslims don't like my books. They hate it, and they give it a bad review without buying it, which is very normal.
Now, aren't you simply telling them what's in the Muslim sources? Why wouldn't they be super happy over that?
You see, I do my videos. I show the reference in the screen. I read the screen for them. Everybody see it, and yet still they call me liar. So Muslim, when he sees something very, very, let us say upsetting, something show something really crazy about their religion, the only thing they can do, either they leave Islam or they go in denial and they say liar, liar, liar. So I hear always liar. I heard it from many people, and many of them, by the way, they accepted the Christ and they left Islam. But in the beginning, they say liar because it's shocking. It is really disgusting. What are you talking about? This is my prophet, the prophet I love. I heard good news about him. David, you do not live in the Middle East. If you go in the Middle East, you go to the bedroom, you hear the Quran, because they play it in the speakers, in the loudspeakers. You go to the bathroom, even in the bathroom, you hear the Quran. You open your TV, everybody speaking about the amazing, the most Prophet Muhammad. You open your radio, it's the same. You go in the bus, it's the same. You drive your car, it's the same. You go to the school, it's the same. So wherever you go, there's one guy. You see, a certain time the American movies have only Sylvester Stallone. So Muhammad is the only Sylvester Stallone for the last 14 centuries. So how dare you to say something we never heard of? So they got shocked, they got so upset, but slowly they understand that this guy is not lying. It's true. He's showing us. It's in the front of us. They will accept.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
Yeah, and sometimes it could take a while. I'll post just a simple video where I put the Muslim sources up on the screen about Muhammad ordering his followers to kill lizards or ordering his followers to kill dogs or something like that. And a Muslim will immediately comment and say, "No, we're not allowed to kill animals at all in Islam." And it's like, I just put the sources on the screen in English and Arabic, and you're saying it's not true. This is your prophet talking, kill lizards, and you're saying he doesn't allow you to kill anything. He commanded you not to kill anything. And then if you point out, look, it's right there. I have Muslims tell me all the time that I'm printing up my own volumes of hadiths. I'm making stuff up. I make stuff up, and then I print up. I don't know what kind of time they think I have on my hands, but I print up my own fake editions of hadiths so that I can point to them and say that this is what Muhammad said. And it's just amazing that, a Muslim will hear something from his mom when he's growing up. And then when you show him that his prophet said the exact opposite, he'll stick with what his mom said and accuse you of making it up, even though it's not hard to go on a Muslim website and look up these sources. Interesting stuff. All right. Someone asked, what's the Islamic concept of an apostle? What is an Islamic apostle? If Muhammad's an apostle, is Isa, Jesus, an Islamic apostle as well?
I don't know what they mean by apostle. Are you talking about like a messenger?
Yeah, he's talking some Quran translations will translate it as apostle, and others will translate it as messenger.
Yeah, well, there's no apostle should not really appear as a translation. It should come ours either as a nabi, which means a prophet, or a messenger, because Muslims, they make a differentiation between a prophet and the messenger, which is very silly too. Because how you can be a messenger but not a prophet? The second you deliver a message from God, that is a prophecy from God. And God himself is the first prophet, because the true prophet is God. He is the one who prophesies about the future, and the rest, they carry the prophecy. So Muslims, they have a very funny understanding that there's a messenger and there's a prophet, and Muhammad is both of them. He's a messenger and he is a prophet in the same time. But here, David, maybe you can ask the Muslims who they are in the crowd, can somebody give us a prophecy of the prophet Muhammad in the Quran? Like what?
What about the war between the Romans and the Persians? What do you think of that?
If you go in the hadith, I just made a video about it a few days ago.
Oh yeah, oh that's cool.
It says that this hadith, This verse was revealed after they won, not before. So Muhammad he said that verse after the Roman they won the war. Secondly, if you go and study, let us go first to the hadith. Just let me get the reference. And this is sahih. This is sahih. Okay, let me give you the link. David, maybe you can read it there. Is that okay? I'll give it to you in Skype. Maybe you can open it, and you can read it better than me. So you can have the reference, or for people who can read it. It says clearly there that when the Roman they became victorious, this verse came.
Oh, I got it. All right. So, yep, this is Sahih, Jami at-Tirmidhi. Abu Sa'id narrated, on the day of Badr, the Romans had a victory over the Persians. So the believers were pleased with that. Then the following was revealed. The Romans have been defeated, up to his saying, the believers will rejoice with the help of Allah. He said, so the believers were happy with the victory of the Romans over the Persians.
So how this can be a prophecy? The verse came after they won the war. How this can be a prophecy? This is stupid. I mean, right? That's what it says. So they won, the Roman they won, and Muhammad he said the Roman they were victorious. So what is the prophecy? Same time, even if this hadith does not exist, we get them busted because Muhammad he used in Arabic the word bada, and the word bada is between 3 to 9, and the final victory. The Roman they lost Jerusalem in 614, and the final victory it was 28 and 29. So Muhammad he got busted either way, either if it is he say that before they won, or if he say that after they won. But imagine after Trump he won, I say, let me give you a prophecy. He won, and the Republican will rejoice. That's funny. He won already. He won a year ago, in the year 2016. So the hadith in front of you is very clear. Same time, there is a question, and no Muslims can answer, why the Muslims will rejoice for the Roman victory. Isn't it the Roman are kuffar? Why they will rejoice for the victory of the Roman? What they have to do with the Roman?
So, and by the way, everyone, Christian Prince, as far as I know, this is the main prophecy that Muslims go to. So you're saying that they're the main one they go to when we ask them about a prophecy here, it fails completely.
Absolutely, it's stupid in either way, because the years. If you see this hadith here, if we say it's not exist, but they cannot say it's not exist. It's sahih, as you see. So the Roman they were victorious, and then the following verse was revealed. It's very clear. So it's revealed after they've been victorious, not before. Secondly, that in Arabic it says غُلِبَتُ الروم, and then it says وَبَعْدَ غُلْبٍ سَوْفَ يُغْلَبُونَ فِي بَضْعِ سَنِينَ. So they are going to be victorious in the word bada 3 to 9, and the Roman took them a lot longer than what Muhammad he predicted. So either we go that Muhammad he was predicting before, and that will make him look as a false prophet, or we say, as the hadith here, which is sahih supposedly, saying that the verse revealed after the Roman were victorious, and that will destroy all the claim anyway.
And it's kind of, even if we granted everything that Muslims claim about this, if we ignore the hadith you mentioned and so on, and we ignore the time frame, that the time frame was not met, even if we ignore all of that and we say, okay, Muhammad predicted this side would win a victory in the future, and they did. It's kind of a really weak prophecy when you've got battles and they're going back and forth. The wars are going back and forth and so on. That would be like me saying, ladies and gentlemen, the Republicans won the presidency, but at some point the Democrats will win the presidency again. And then eventually when the Democrats win, I say, you see there, I'm a prophet, ladies and gentlemen. No one would accept that. And yet this is the one they go to, along with all the other problems.
Yeah, this is a war happening for 300 years, and they win and they lose and they win. They lose. This is silly. Same time, Muhammad he claimed that the Roman they will be the major population of the people of the earth. So Muhammad he made a prophecy about the Roman, and let us see what it is. When Muhammad he says, and this is in Sahih Muslim, that the Roman, when the judgment did come, they will be the major population of mankind. And this is hadith number 2898a. So تقوم الساعة والروم أكثر الناس. The judgment day will come, and the Roman, they will be the most biggest population of mankind. They are the majority. So, but the Roman are gone. Where is the Roman? Do you know where is the Roman, David?
Mm-mm.
Where is the Roman now? Here we go. This is a false prophecy. If one prophecy made by a prophet who claimed to be prophet, that's it. He's a false prophet. You know.
Yeah, and there are other prophecies that Muhammad made where I just can't figure out how they can possibly come true now. So, for instance, Sahih al-Bukhari 71:16 narrated Abu Huraira, Allah's messenger said, "The hour will not be established till the buttocks of the women of the tribe of Daus move while going around Dhul Khalasa." But that place was destroyed by Muslims a long time ago, so it's never going to happen. The people of the women of that tribe are not going to be marching around this place anymore. And you have passages like that where it doesn't look like they could ever come true unless this tribe makes a comeback and then goes back to its practices and starts walking and rebuilds this place that Muhammad's followers destroyed. Then you got others which, I mean, if Muslims really, really take their prophet's words seriously, they should be going and trying to confirm them. So let me give an example. Sahih al-Bukhari 71:19 narrated Abu Huraira, Allah's messenger said, "Soon the river Euphrates will disclose the treasure of the mountain of gold. So whoever will be present at that time should not take anything of it." So according to Muhammad, there's a mountain of gold below the Euphrates, a giant mountain. So if Muslims think this guy's a real prophet, they should really they should take some metal detectors out and be at the Euphrates and find this giant mountain of gold. They'd be rich forever.
Well, as long as you mentioned the Euphrates, do you know where the Euphrates is coming from according to Muhammad?
Where's that?
It's coming from heaven. When Muhammad he went to the seventh heaven, he found that the roots of the rivers Sihan and Jihan and Euphrates and the Nile, those are four rivers are known. All of them, they are coming from the Jannah. And this is Sahih. This is not this is like you can go even to Sahih al-Bukhari. Let us see 56110. So just type the word Euphrates in sunnah.com, and you will see the reference. So there is four rivers, two of them appear and two of them underneath. And he asked Jibreel, who are those rivers? Jibreel told him, those are the rivers, Euphrates and the Nile. So this is a lie. I mean, this is obviously it's a lie. So if Muhammad is a prophet, he prophesied lies. What about the Quran? When the Quran prophesy that the man have a sperm coming from the backbone, this is prophecy. It's something supposedly we do not know. And this is the Quran. They cannot say it's a weak Quran. So chapter 86, verse number 6 and 7, it says, "من بين الصلب والترائب," from the backbone and the ribs of the women. Not only the ribs, the location of the necklace. The word of taraib is the location where the women have, like if a woman she put her like if she is wearing a cross and it's kind of short, is going to around tight her neck, and that location where the cross will set is exact what we are talking about. You know what I mean? Like the touch between the ribs and your neck, the hole there. This is exactly where Muhammad he claimed that women, they have a sperm and it's coming from there, and the man have a sperm and coming from the backbone. What about the chapter of the moon where he said the judgment day is near and the moon is split? The moon did not split, it was the eclipse, and we can show the reference from the hadith. He was afraid each time he see eclipse, he think it's a doomsday, and same time he said the moon is split and judgment day is near. So moon splitting is a sign of judgment day, but that was 1400 years ago. This is a false prophecy. We can go over and over. All the Quran is full of crazy stuff. One lie will make you be called a liar. So how about having hundreds of them all over the book?
wanted to bring up something to you because you mentioned it earlier that the Quran is affirming what happened with Jesus in the Christian position. Sam Shamoun and I use a lot what we call the Islamic dilemma that the Quran affirms, and I'm bringing this up because I scrolled past a comment. I could go back and find it, but someone was saying that the position of the Quran is that it's the verse from Surah 2 where it says that it's talking about the Jews, and it says, woe to those who write the book with their own hand and so on. But what is the Quran's position on the previous scriptures, the Torah and the Gospel? Because every Muslim that you ever run into pretty much believes that the position of the Quran is that Allah revealed the Torah and the Gospel. They were corrupted by Jews and Christians, and that's why Allah sent the Quran to basically give us an uncorrupted revelation. What do you think is the actual position of the Quran? In other words, if you just read the Quran beginning to end, what would you believe about the scriptures of the Jews and Christians?
Okay. If we go in the Quran, David, how many times we hear the Quran keep saying the people of the book?
A bunch.
A lot, right? Okay. So let me ask you, and I there is something I notice about you, that you are very really, I can say you are sharp, you are smart. Can you call me an Arab?
Yep.
When I'm not?
No.
You cannot. So can you call me an Indian if I am not? No. So when you call me the people of the book, it's mean they have a book.
Mm-hmm.
So how they are called people of the book in the time of Muhammad, and we are called people of the book today, yet we don't have a book according to the Muslims. This is how silly this religion is. Mm-hmm. It's like saying to you the guy with the car, but he don't have a car.
Mm-hmm.
It's like saying to you the guy who have hair, but he don't have a hair. So this is how silly. Same time, the Quran full of verses speaking about the Quran confirming what is with us. And you mentioned, confirming what is with them. As an example, chapter 2, verse number 89, it says, وَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ كِتَابٌ مِّنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا مَعَهُمْ, approving, confirming, believing in what is with them, not before them. So, and chapter 2, verse number 91, same. Chapter 2, verse 101, it says the same. Chapter 2, verse number 213, it says the same. So, all over the Quran, we find the same reference. But the Muslims, they cannot find really anything. It says that the Bible is corrupt. You see, the Muslim, they says, the Quran says, يُحَرِّفُونَ الْكَلُمْ عَنْ مَوَاضِعُهُ. What does that mean? You go to the interpretation, they say they change the meaning of it. This is their scholars, not me. Mm-hmm. It doesn't say they are corrupting the book. It says they change the interpretation of it. And that actually was, if you remember the story where Muhammad, he took an oath on the Torah. You remember? Mm-hmm. Okay. A Jewish guy, he put his finger over the word stone. Okay? Stone them, the punishment of stoning. So this is what is this is what the verse is talking about. But this is how that can be corruption. Mm-hmm. The corruption supposedly here happened because the guy, he tried to hide the word in the Torah. And if it is corrupted, and Muhammad, he knew the book is corrupted, where is the hadith where Muhammad, he says the Quran, the Bible is corrupted? I want to see it. Same time, the Quran never says, what they are claiming to be, and even their scholars don't agree with them. Because how in one verse you says you approve what is with them, in the other verse he says they are corrupting, but they are corrupting the word. Same time, يُحَرِّفُونَ عَنْ مَوَاضِعِهِ, which means change in the location. If you go to chapter 5, verse number 41, maybe you can read it for people there. I will give you a little bit of time to find it. In chapter 5, verse number 41, it says that corruption here is a change in the location of the words from its location. Does it say that, David?
So 541, O Messenger Muhammad, let not those who hurry to fall into disbelief grieve you, of such who say we believe with their mouths, but their hearts have no faith. And of the Jews are men who listen much and eagerly to lies, listen to others who have not come to you. They change the words from their places.
Okay, so the corruption here is not taking the verses, is changing the words from their places. All right. Now, if this is corruption, that means the whole Quran is corrupt. Because a chapter of, we just mentioned how the Quran says, today I completed your religion for you, right? The Muslims, they agree that the first chapter was given to Muhammad is now number 96. So if it changing the words from its place will make corruption, that means the Quran is the first one to be called corrupt book, because the whole Quran is messed up. This is not how Muhammad received the Quran, even according to Muslims. So here, there's nowhere it says that they took the verses out of the Bible. All it says, يُحَرِّفُونَ الْكَلَمَ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَوَاضِعِهِ. Some of it, but if you go to the interpretation, it says that they change the meaning. They do not really take it, not literally, they change it from its... and this is the story about the Jewish guy who put his hand over the verse where it says stoning to death.
Yeah, and just so everyone read that entire passage, everyone. We just went to Surah 5, verse 41, but the entire passage that follows, especially verses 43 and 47, and then 48, they basically give an outline of the true position of the Quran. So when the Jews come up to Muhammad to settle a dispute, Allah gives the response in verse 43 that they don't need you, Muhammad. They don't need you, Muhammad, because they've got the Torah. And if they don't judge by the Torah, then they're in trouble. So the position... Now notice that would make no sense if the Torah has been corrupted. Then they would need Muhammad to correct them. But instead, it's, hey, Muhammad, they don't need you. They've got the Torah. Then in verse 47, Christians are supposed to judge by the gospel. And then verse 48, and Muslims judge by the Quran. So the position of the Quran is that each group has its book that it's supposed to judge by. Unfortunately for Islam, Muslims eventually went to the Torah and the gospel and realized they don't line up with Muhammad. That should have been the clear proof that you need that you're dealing with a false prophet. Instead, you just said, oh, I guess they corrupted it, contrary to everything that Allah has said in the Quran.
And David, what about verse number 68, chapter 5, verse number 68?
Oh, yeah, awesome.
Doesn't it say that you people of the book, you should practice, you should follow the Torah and the Bible? Okay.
Yeah, it says we have no ground to stand upon if we do not stand upon the Torah and the gospel.
So how we don't have a book and the Quran is saying to us we have to follow that book? That's really stupid. I mean, give us the book.
Yeah, guys. So going back to what Christian Prince was saying earlier, that the Quran repeatedly calls us the people of the book, calls Jews and Christians the people of the book, right? So it's talking about a book that we have. According to what Muslims are saying today, our book was already corrupted. Well, that would have to mean, when Allah is calling us the people of the book, then it must be doing so in an insulting fashion, according to what Muslims are telling us, right? When it calls us the people of the book, it would be calling us people of the corrupt book, right? People of the distorted book or something like that. But that's not what the Quran says. And so going through the other passages that Christian Prince brought up, the Quran is affirming the book that we have. And so, guys, you just have a problem here. And you need to recognize every Muslim wants to believe that the Torah and the gospel have been corrupted because they know that the Torah and the gospel do not line up with Islam. So they have to say it's been corrupted. But as soon as you say it's been corrupted, you're telling us that you know more than your God, because your God didn't know and your prophet didn't know. So you are greater in knowledge than your God. And so maybe you guys should be worshiping yourselves since you know more than your God.
David, why the Muslims don't tell us why Allah he wrote the whole Torah to Moses in his hand? The Muslims don't believe in the Ten Commandments alone. They believe that Allah he wrote the whole Torah in his hand on tablet. Okay, what was the purpose if he will not protect the Torah at least? I mean, why? How many load of trucks Moses he need to carry the whole Torah? Imagine the whole Torah written in rocks. So Allah wrote it by his hand. And then that, Allah, that's it. Everything is gone. So the Muslims, they have tons of stories. The whole story is that, okay, we cannot find Muhammad in your books, so we don't accept your book. As simple as that. If we put Muhammad there, if you add now, if you print a new Bible, fabricate a new Bible and make Muhammad there, they will, Muslims, all of them, they will accept it. Like as an example, there is a very famous book, the Muslims, the
Gospel of Barnabas,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, but this book is stupid. I mean,
yeah, it's a 13th to 15th century forgery that was written in Italian. I mean, it's written. It's written.
Not only that, this book is saying that Muhammad himself is Jesus himself. Muhammad himself is the Messiah. So the Muslim, they speak big mouth about it, but then nobody read it. But just because the name of Muhammad is there, supposedly they like it and they promote it and they made article about it, but none of them will accept it because they are hypocrite. If you accept the book, okay, I challenge you to publish it and accept it as this is the true Bible for the Muslims. But they will not do that because they knew it's a fabrication. And this is the sign of the hypocrisy when somebody says to you, I like to eat shish kebab, but I will never order it. You know, he will never order it, but he liked to eat it. So how come you like this book, but you will never order it to be your book in the library to teach your children? Because he's hypocrite.
Yeah. All right, so we've got about we want to cut off by 10 o'clock, so we got about 20 minutes left. Here's a good question from the apostate prophet. You know the apostate prophet, Christian Prince?
Yes.
Yes. The apostate prophet says, could it be, so he's going back to the crucifixion of Jesus. Actually, he probably posted it back when I'm way behind on comments. I'm only like halfway scrolled through the comments. But he said, so this is probably when we were talking about the crucifixion earlier. He said, could it be that Islam's assertion that Jesus didn't die is a poor appeasement of local Christian heretics that believed in something similar, e.g., only his body died. Greetings and respect to you both. So just so everyone knows, there were certain heretical Christian groups who had different beliefs about Jesus, that he didn't really have a body, things like that. So do you think this could be Muhammad being influenced by or trying to appease some local heretical Christians in Surah 4, verse 157?
Yeah, there is some books is rejected where he's speaking that the Messiah, for he is a son of God, there's no way the Father will let him be tortured. So it most likely this one was on the cross. God, he made the body of a person who looked like Jesus, but this is not Jesus. And obviously Muhammad, he carry on with that fallacy. So it's possible, but we cannot really confirm 100%. But there is people who they believe that Jesus, because he's son of God, well, there's no way that God, his father, they will let him be tortured. And actually, once a Muslim, an Egyptian Muslim, he said to me, well, you know what? If Jesus is the son of God, then his father will save him. I said, okay, well, if this is your logic, that's good. Because that means Jesus is son of God in Islam. He said, how? He said, you just told me if Jesus is son of God, his father would save him. He said, yeah. I said, okay, didn't Allah save him in Islam? So, yeah, Muhammad, obviously, he have nothing of his own pocket, nothing about Christianity, nothing about Judaism. He is a person who copy, but he have a bad ears, to the point even he cannot pronounce names correctly. So Amran became Umran. You know, all the names, he got them wrong. So Muhammad, he cannot be a person who is making things as much he is copying, especially when it's come to Christianity and Judaism. And even the stories of, like, as an example, you know, the chapter in 18 is speaking about the 7 sleepers. But this is a story written hundreds of years before Muhammad, and it's a fictional story. Yep. So how Muhammad put it in the Quran? Because simply he's trying to bring stories which is interesting to his book to make himself a prophet who knows. And if you read the chapter, you will die laughing. You know, the verses says, some they say they are 4 and their dog is number 5. Some they say they are 5 and their dog is number 6. Some they say they are, etc. I mean, this is silly. This is not God talking. Just tell us the number and that's it. Still, until now, we do not know what the number. So Muhammad is a person, he was under pressure. People, they ask him, they challenge him, especially the Jews, because this is why he hate them. You know, when the Jews they came to him and they said to him, tell us about Zulqarnain. It was a trap. They are not coming to ask him, they are making fun of him. And Muhammad, he get the bait. He was a fool. So he started telling them what is the first meal for going to heaven. In the heaven, it is the liver of the whale. And how the baby will be, how the child will resemble the parents. If the father have orgasm first, the baby will be a male. If the women have orgasm, the baby will be a female, which is stupid too. And then he to talk about Alexander the Great. So Muhammad, he hated the Jews for always getting him busted without him knowing, but it was too late. That's it. He made verses, he gave it, and people are laughing. And Muhammad, he wanted to seek revenge because they got him busted.
Yeah, and guys, that's basically the history of Islam. The people who could actually understand and who knew why the things that Muhammad could be. Keep in mind, you could go up to someone who doesn't know anything and say anything you want, and that person won't be able to respond. But if you go to people who actually know something, then if you say something stupid, they're going to call you. They're going to call you stupid. And so Muhammad kept doing this, and people kept pointing out how he's wrong and he doesn't know what he's talking about, and they suddenly become his enemies. But eventually, once Muhammad has a big enough army, then no one's allowed to say anything. No one's allowed to say anything critical of Muhammad's teachings. And so that's what you have in the Muslim world. Is it eventually became the position that you're not allowed to criticize or question the things that Muhammad said, no matter how silly and ridiculous they are. But now, guys, we're in a different time period right now. Yeah, there are places in the world where you get in trouble, but here in the West and on the internet, we're allowed to point these things out, and yet the Muslims are still defending some of the silliest things that have ever been said by anyone, and they're defending them as obviously true when they're obviously false. Here's a good question, Christian Prince. He said the Muslims said Judas is in the cross, so the Muslims are the true Antichrist. Now, just to be clear, everyone, it's not the Quran that says that Judas was the one who was crucified in the place of Jesus, but that is a very common Muslim belief today. And if you just think about that, right? In Christianity, the innocent Jesus is crucified on behalf of sinful men. And the Muslims of today, a very common belief among Muslims, is that it was actually Judas who was crucified in place of Jesus. So now you've got the guilty sinner Judas being crucified on behalf of the innocent Jesus. It's a complete reversal of the gospel. They completely flip it on its head. Christian Prince, can we say that Islam is an antichrist religion?
Well, based in the Bible, absolutely, because the Bible says who is the Antichrist, the one who denied the Father and the Son, right? So, based in the Bible, absolutely Islam, but not a person, Islam as a religion, as a cult, it is an Antichrist cult. And Muhammad, in the Hadith, he says, "Ana al-Mahi." They ask him, what do you mean? Al-Mahi in Arabic, it's the one who erase. He says, I will erase Judaism and Christianity. So he made his target clear. I'm going to erase it. All right. So by that statement, he will erase what? He will erase the belief that the Messiah, what we believe in him, and he was crucified, and that what he will erase, and that will make him himself an Antichrist too, but not the Antichrist. I don't believe he is the Antichrist. He is Antichrist, yes, but not the Antichrist. At the same time, remember, Muhammad never met Christians. I don't believe Muhammad ever met Christians. He met Nasara. Who is Nasara? You say, I'm a Christian. What not Nasara? Ask any Arabic Christian. Tell me how you say you are a Christian in Arabic. He will say Masihi. Masihi, coming from the word Messiah. Not a single Arabic Christian he even will accept to call him Nasara, because that will sound like an insult. So for us, that is clear evidence that Muhammad, he met a group who they are Nasara, and I believe Nasara here is coming from the word, from the Hebrew, where the Nazarite, which is not the Nazarite from the city, the Nazarene, which is the in Hebrew like the one who is poor in the understanding, not poor in the money. So the Christian, they call such a group Nasara, for they are poor in the understanding of the Bible, and they were rejected, and this is why they are exist in the Arabian Peninsula. They run away because they rejected from the Christian community. They went to a land where Roman are not exist, and they have no authority. So let's make it clear, at that time, obviously, those Nasara, they were not welcome in the land or the territory of the Roman. This is why the same for the Jews. Why the Jews are there? Because the Jews are not welcome between the Romans, especially after what happened in 614, where the Jews took the side with the Persian, and even before that. So the Jews, they run away for their life. They went to the Arabian Peninsula, and the same as the Nasara, because in that territory the Roman have no authority. It's just a desert. There's nobody live there. And this is what Muhammad met. He met Jews and he met Nasara. He did not meet the Christians.
Yeah, so guys, try and research a little bit about the historical background there. I think it might clear up some of the things Muhammad said and some of the positions that Muslims hold today. This is kind of a two-part question here, but it's a good topic. So the question is, did Muhammad have a problem with anyone leaving him? And the second part is it because his parents left him when they died? So, Christian Prince, did Muhammad have a problem with people leaving him, leaving his religion?
Well, yeah, Muhammad, he says that the one who changed his religion kill him, and Muhammad, I don't think Muhammad, we do not know really the real fathers or parents of Muhammad. All the stories about Muhammad, like as an example, what is the name of the father of Muhammad? Abdullah, right? Okay, how his name is Abdullah, but he don't believe in Allah? I mean, this is stupid, right? So how they call him Abdullah, but their family, his family, they don't believe in Abdullah. If you go and read all the names of the family of Muhammad, you will see Abdul Muttalib, Abdul Uzza, Abdul Manat. So all of them, they are worshipping idols. So why the father of Muhammad was called Abdullah? And yet they say to us, you don't believe in Allah. So that is silly. And Muhammad, if you have my books, you will see that Muhammad was born 4 years after his father's death. Okay, how he can be his son? This is why the Shafi'i, the Hanbali, the Maliki, they have different opinion about how a woman, she can deliver a child after the death of her husband. They go from between 2 years up to 7 to 10. Imagine a Muslim woman, depend in the Islamic sect. There's 4 Islamic major sect. A woman, she can be delivering a baby after her husband's death up to 10 years. That's madness. And then if we go and read, we will find that the father of Muhammad, he was paid for sex. The sister of Waraq ibn Nawfal, she offered the father of Muhammad 100 camel to sleep with her, which I find the number is exaggeration. It's like saying I will give you 100 car these days. 100 camel for the Arab at that time, this is like, you will make you really rich. So he told her, I will go to the mother of Muhammad and I will come back to you, which means he agreed. When he came back, she said, I have no need for you no more because you slept with that woman. So here you notice, you understand from the Muslims books, that Muhammad's father was a gigolo in the term of getting money for sex. And then the father of Muhammad and his grandfather, supposedly they marry the same women, and then they have sons and they have different ages. And Muhammad's father, he died supposedly 4 months or 3 months after the marriage, the wedding. So how Muhammad can be born 4 years after? Mostly, I believe, this is my belief from my study, that Waraq ibn Nawfal is the real father of Muhammad, not Abdullah. This is why I always find Muhammad is with Waraq ibn Nawfal. When Waraq ibn Nawfal, if you remember the hadith, it says when Waraq ibn Nawfal, he died, what Muhammad tried to do? He tried to jump from
okay, you're talking about the suicide attempt. Yeah.
But this is when after Waraqa he died. Okay, why when Waraqa died, Muhammad, he became so desperate? What happened? Because he have a special relationship with him. When Muhammad was lost as a child, where they found him? With Waraqa. When Muhammad lost in the desert, where they found him? With Waraqa. Waraqa is everywhere in the life of Muhammad. So when Waraqa he died, according to the hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari, and this is Sahih, they cannot say it's a lie, it says that the inspiration of Allah paused. Allah will not send Quran no more. And Muhammad became so sad, and he decided to jump from the top of the mountain, and he tried to do that many times. And each time he go to the top of the mountain, Jibreel, he appeared to him and he says, don't do it, for sure you are a prophet of Allah. So this is what is written in Sahih Bukhari, hadith number 6982. But why Waraqa is all over, and why Waraqa, even Waraqa is the one who told him what is the name of the angel who met him, right, when he squeezed him. Okay, how Waraqa he knew? I mean, he did not even see him. And why Khadija, she took him to Waraqa? So Waraqa is all over the life of Muhammad. There is 2 people, they made Muhammad a prophet: Khadija, money, and Waraqa.
All right. This one's about Lot, and we'll probably take 1 or 2 more real quick after this. But this one is about Lot, and she says, "Can you explain how Lot became a prophet in Islam, and why did Muhammad think that Lot was a prophet?" And guys, if you don't know why this is important, in the Bible you have the story of Lot. Lot and Abraham separate. And Lot, after the fall of Sodom and Gomorrah, his daughters apparently think that they're the last people on earth, and so they want to start the human population up again. And so They know that their dad won't sleep with them, so they get him drunk. They sleep with him, and then come out of that relationship some of the enemies of the Jews, the Ammonites and the Moabites. But Muslims look at that and they say, look, you see what the Bible does? Look how it treats the prophets. It accuses a prophet of incest, where the Bible's just recording what happened, whether it's good or bad. But Christian Prince, any thoughts on that, or why Muslims think that Lot is a prophet, or how Muhammad came to that conclusion?
Muhammad, as we said, he is just a person who he learned from people around him. And mostly he is getting wrong information. And mostly, I think the Jews, they were feeding him wrong information on purpose. I don't believe it was happening like this, because it's too much to believe that Muhammad was really. Muhammad, you see, he always look at the Jews as people of the book, because they know, they are people who have knowledge. So he saw in them teachers, but the Jews, because he came to them claiming to be a prophet. Muhammad did not come to them just to live. He came to them after supposedly he ran away from Mecca. So now they knew that this guy, he claimed to be a prophet from supposedly Allah. So the Jews, they feeded him false information just to make fun of him. And Muhammad, he got the bait. Always Muhammad, he is a victim of the Jews. They did not harm him physically, but they did harm him mentally, and did harm his belief. They made fun of him. So about incest, well, the Quran speak that in chapter 5 verse number 27, if you go and read the interpretation, that the daughters of Adam, Allah, when he made the wife of Adam, Eve, have children. Each time she gave birth to a twin, a male and a female. And Adam, he married the male from this twin to the other female from the other twin. But what happened, that the two male, now they want to marry one sister. Why? Because one of them, she have a cross eyes, or she don't look good. So Allah told them, okay, make a sacrifice, and whatever sacrifice, the one I accept his sacrifice is the one who can take that female. So if the Muslims are against incest, then they should not accept that verse. Now, if we go in a different verse, and this is very important, if you go in the Quran, in chapter 25, verse number 52, let me remember. 54, yeah, 25, 54. It says, وَهُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ مِنَ الْمَاءِ بَشَرًا فَجَعَلَهُ نَسَبًا وَصِهْرًا. If you go to Al-Qurtubi, it says that a Muslim man, he can have sex with his daughter if she is a daughter from adultery. This is Islam today and before. So this is, you see, in the Bible is speaking about a story of two girls, because they don't want to be without children, and they are afraid they will disappear from the universe. No men left. They did that. The Bible did not approve what they did. The Bible report. Here we have religion, and we have scholars saying, if you have a daughter from a girlfriend from adultery, the mother and the daughter are lawful for you. And by the way, I challenge any Muslim. You see, here we go in front of you, David, Mimi Hijab and his nurse Ali Dawa, all those kids. If anyone dare to say to me that I just told a lie, I am willing to come down here to your show, and we will open the screen and we will read together in front of them from the most official government website of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And I challenge them to say I am lying. This is Quran, and this is the interpretation of the Muslim scholars and the Islamic sect. And not only that, they say it is according to the most accurate of scholars in the religion, that because she is not his daughter from marriage, she is not forbidden for him to have sex with the daughter and her mother. And here we go. I'm willing to take a challenge anytime. If any Muslim want to accuse me of a lie that Islam allowed you. And by the way, I didn't say, remember, David, I did not say Islam allowed you to have sex with your daughter from marriage. No. Quran says you cannot have sex with your daughter from marriage. But if she is not from marriage, you can have sex with her.
All right, so you Muslims, you heard that challenge. If you want to challenge Christian Prince here, I'd be happy to moderate that discussion, and we can put the sources up on the screen here. All right, we want to close out after this one. We don't want to close out just talking about Islam, because, I mean, man, when we hear about the things that Muhammad said and the things in the Quran, just want to go take a bath. So we want to conclude on a more positive note here. Christian Prince. So Tippy Bear here says, ask Christian Prince to show that Paul is a prophet in Islam. Now, for those of you who are new to all of this, Muslims like to blame the Apostle Paul for corrupting Christianity. And there's a reason for that, right? They didn't just say, oh, Paul is an especially evil dude one day or something like that. It's basically they're forced into it, right? Because they know that their book affirms that Jesus spoke the truth and that Jesus' original followers were devout Muslims. And yet they know that Christianity doesn't teach what Islam taught. Christianity teaches that Jesus is the divine Son who died on the cross for sins and rose from the dead. So they have to blame someone for corrupting Christianity. And a Muslim who doesn't know anything at all will point to like the Council of Nicaea and stuff and say, oh, that's where Christianity was corrupted. But they got a problem because we can trace all of the core Christian doctrines back to the 1st century. And so we know that these doctrines were there in the 1st century. If the doctrines were there in the 1st century, then as a Muslim, if you want to say that Christianity was corrupted, you have to say that Christianity was corrupted in the 1st century. So you have to blame someone. But you can't blame Jesus. He's a devout Muslim prophet. You can't blame his followers. They're devout Muslims. So you need someone who wasn't Jesus and wasn't one of his original followers, who was also powerful enough to somehow corrupt all of Christianity. And the only person they've been able to come up with is the Apostle Paul. And so Muslims today love to blame the Apostle Paul. And if you listen to what Muslims say, they make him sound more powerful than Allah with the way this guy comes in there and corrupts it. Because Allah in the Quran is saying things like he's going to protect Jesus' followers until the day of resurrection. So those are the kinds of things that are being said in the Quran. And yet Muslims want to say that Paul came in there and just corrupted it. And too bad for Allah, too bad for all the work that Jesus had done. He flipped it on its head. But if I understand correctly, Christian Prince, that was not the position of Muslims centuries ago. Is that correct?
Well, this is the challenge for the Muslims. It looked like the Muslims, Zakir Naik, Brother Titter, I told you that the one who collapsed the Bible, it is named Paul. And Paul, he is the one who fabricated the Bible. Now, okay, Zakir Naik, can you show us reference where Paul, he corrupted the Bible? They did that. Can you show us the reference where it says that Paul is the one who corrupted the Bible? So Muslims, they are copy-paste people. They don't have any knowledge. I am saying to you Muslims, look like you are a lot smarter than your prophet, because your prophet, he have no idea about Paul. He never said such a thing. Ibn Kathir, he says, if you go to chapter 36 in the Quran, you will see in verse number 14, it says, we sent to them, إِذْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمْ إِثْنَيْنِ فَكَذَّبُوهُمَا, we sent to them 2 messengers, and then we sent the 3rd to string them. If you go to Ibn Kathir, you will see Ibn Kathir, not the Christian Prince, saying that the 3rd is Paul. So Ibn Kathir, he must be Christian. He must be working for us. Maybe we paid him. Look like Zakir Naik and Didat are smart and Ibn Kathir is a donkey. So obviously here there is some kind of copy-paste agenda, and nobody want to read. They heard Zakir Naik saying that, they heard Didat saying that, and we copy and we throw it. Now the question that changed for the Muslims, why your prophet did not know about Paul being corrupt in the Bible? Why Allah did not say that in the Quran? And why in chapter 36 verse number 14, according to you Muslims, those are 3 messengers, 3 musketeers sent by Jesus. How Jesus can send people to be messengers unless he is God? How a prophet, he can make you a prophet? How somebody, he himself, he is just a prophet, he can make you a prophet? Not only that, if you go and read the interpretation, you will see that they resurrected people from death. Those 3, Paul and John, Johanna, and Peter, they resurrected people from death. And the most strong one of them is Paul. Because look like Paul, for Muhammad, he have a black belt. So he is the most strong one, according to Ibn Kathir and the biggest scholars. But Paul is the enemy of Allah, according to the Abduls, who have no idea what they are talking about. So my friend, Muslims are the same as somebody, his wife is a cheater on him. He is the last one to know. Don't learn Islam from a Muslim. They do not know. They don't speak the language, and even the one who speak the language, he lie in order to protect, as Mimi Hijabi did.
Now, that is interesting that the earlier generation of Muslims, earlier generations of Muslims and Muslim commentators, it's almost like they had more respect for the Quran than Muslims today, because, you know, if you look at what the Quran says, that Allah protected the true followers of Jesus until they became victorious over those who rejected Jesus. Well, the people who became victorious in Christianity were people who believed in the Apostle Paul. They believed in the Gospels that we have. They believed in the letters of Paul. So according to the Quran, those are the true followers of Jesus. Again, Allah said that He was going to protect the Christians, Jesus' followers, until the day of resurrection. When your average Muslim believes that Paul immediately came in there and undid all the work that Jesus had done, and Allah couldn't stop him. And so it's just the earlier generations of Muslims wanted to say, no, Paul was someone who was sent by Jesus. They had to believe that, because otherwise they're accusing Paul of being more powerful than Allah, and they didn't want to do that. Muslims today, nope, they want to deify Paul. In other words, so you've got Muhammad here, right? You've got Muhammad, and Muhammad is a slave of Allah. So there's Muhammad and then there's Allah. But then, according to Muslims today, the Apostle Paul came in there and he just overpowered Allah. So the Apostle Paul's more powerful than Allah, but Paul calls himself a mere bondservant of the Lord Jesus Christ. So, according to Muslims today, you've got Muhammad, but Allah is more powerful than him, but Paul's more powerful than Allah, and Paul is a mere bondservant of the Lord Jesus Christ. My Muslim friends, whom should you be listening to? Muhammad? Allah? No, of course you should be turning to the Lord Jesus Christ. All right, Christian Prince, we want to close out, but any last words you have for the Muslims who are watching?
I feel sorry for them, and you are following a false god. You do not know where the sun set. You do not know how the day and the night they work. You do not know how the baby is made. You know nothing. I feel sorry for you. And thank you, David, for having me. I really appreciate you inviting me here. It was a pleasure to speak to you. This is the first time we have a conversation, and I was honored to be in your program, and thank you very much, and God bless you, and God bless your family, and we pray for them.
Thank you. And I like what you said there, Christian Prince, that we feel sorry for some of these people. I don't hate Muslims. But we feel bad for you, right? You've been misled all your lives. You've been fed false information all your lives. And so we're here because we're trying to help you. We've dedicated our lives to trying to help you, because you've been manipulated and brainwashed all your life into believing things that are obvious nonsense. And then someone like Christian Prince comes along and he tries to show you, guys, you've been lied to all your life. I want you to know the truth. I want you to spend eternity with the Lord Jesus Christ. And you hate him for it. Why would you hate someone who spends his life trying to help you guys? All right, so thanks to Christian Prince for joining us, and people are already asking in the chat when we will do something like this again. But now we're in contact, so maybe we'll pick some specific topic for next time when we can get together and discuss a topic. Or if a Muslim wants to have a discussion with Christian Prince, again, I'd be happy to moderate. But everyone, again, be sure to hit that like button. And you have the links to Christian Prince's his channel, his Facebook page, and his Patreon. So again, before you leave, go ahead and click that Patreon link and support him for $5, $10 a month or something like that. Some of you have awesome jobs and stuff like this, and you could support him with $100 a month or something like that. But again, as someone who knows how much work goes into really putting out lots of content on Islam and buying the resources and having good equipment, there's a lot of costs associated just with doing stuff on YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. So if you want to see Christian Prince continue doing his work and doing more in the future, be sure to support him. Other than that, I'll see you all again next time. Be sure to subscribe to our channels if you're not subscribed, and God bless everyone.
Thank you, David. Take care. Good night.